in his audience with the promise that he would not argue with them. He would simply wanted to hear what they were thinking and why. And that forum that he gave to Trump supporters produced what Glenn Beck said was one of the spookiest calls he's ever received. It was from Nate in Virginia. Here is some of what Nate had to say to Glenn Beck.
As long as he does the basic things, the foundational things, which is build a wall, he's not going to have people like me coming after him. Because if he doesn't do what he said,
so if he doesn't build a wall, like China, then he's in trouble. It's the wall that is your line. Okay.
Oh, he's in so much trouble you don't even understand the backlash of us.
Oh, I think I do.
We're so frustrated and angry and tired of all the political stuff, we're going to come after him personally. You know what I mean? We're going to get him.
I don't know what you mean. Hang on. What does that mean?
Impeach him?
You know, the most peaceful way that you can get rid of a president
is impeach him. Right.
Yes, sir. He's appealing to people who are very frustrated and angry. Their frustration and anger can only be subsided if he makes his promises true. And he has a lot on his shoulders. Maybe he himself doesn't even know how much.
Okay.
But if he doesn't come through for us, he's going to have bigger problems than what you know.
Okay, Nate.
Well, obviously,
thank you for one of the spookiest phone calls I think I've ever received.
Joining us now, Glenn Beck, founder of Blaze Television Network. He is the author of the new book, Liars, How Progressives Exploit Our Fears for Power and Control. And Glenn, I'm looking at the cover, and there's some cards down here that show these progressives that we should be afraid of. Teddy Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump. I guess, a deck of cards is 52. So I assume somewhere in there is the O'Donnell card, somewhere, right, in the 52?
Yeah, you're someplace. You're someplace in there.
I gotta be.
But I appreciate the fact that you noticed that there were 2 Republicans in there, and I could have easily put several other, including Richard Nixon, in there. This is not a book that is actually, in some ways, a sympathetic look at some of the people like Margaret Sanger, as I tried to figure out what caused her to believe the things that she did. And I tried to find people's pivot points in their life, from Hegel to Margaret Sanger to LBJ. What made them into who they were, and found some interesting stories. I actually think you would enjoy the book, Florence.
And you have Donald Trump as a progressive. Why do you see him as a progressive?
Because I think he has socialist tendencies. He believes in big government. I don't think he's he's definitely not a conservative. I don't even like calling myself a conservative anymore because I don't even know what it means. I'm a constitutionalist. And I believe in the adherence to the Constitution. I don't think Donald Trump has even read the Constitution, knows what's in the Constitution, or indeed, like most progressives, I don't think he thinks it's relevant anymore. So he is a guy who believes in at least double the amount of stimulus of Hillary Clinton. He believes he's much farther down the road on health care than Barack Obama was, and I'm shocked at the number of conservatives, whatever that means, and Republicans, whatever that means, that are fine with it coming. It honestly makes people like me question everything that we have said in the last 10 years, because perhaps it wasn't about the policies as I thought it was under Barack Obama. Perhaps it wasn't about bigger and expanding government. Perhaps it was about the fact that, I don't know, maybe that he was just a Democrat and they'll accept it from a Republican but not from a Democrat. I don't care who it is. I think right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm a constitutionalist. It's not the way the country was founded and what we're all about. And I'll stand on those principles. Donald Trump doesn't stand for any of those principles, any of them.
So tell us about your reaction. How did it feel in that phone call? And I know you had many more phone calls from Trump supporters today, but that one that you called the spookiest, there was a turn in that call. We didn't play the whole thing. There was a turn in that call where it sounded like maybe this caller was talking about physical violence against Donald Trump. And you clarified with him that he didn't mean that, but it still wasn't completely clear what he meant.
No, Larry, I think it was clear that that's what he was talking about, because he said the impeachment, and I said, but wait a minute, you know, if that doesn't work, or he said, well, he'll have to know he's picked and riled up the most angry people in the country, and we'll deal with him. Well, if impeachment isn't, you know, that has nothing to do with anger, and what constitutional violation are you going to get him on with impeachment if he doesn't haul everybody out of the country? That's not going to work. And it was clear that he was saying, you're messing with the wrong people. The interesting thing, and I'm going to do a whole segment on a few of the phone calls that came in today on tomorrow's radio program, and what I learned is in 3 particular phone calls, each of them saying something wildly different that Donald Trump meant and Donald Trump is doing and who Donald Trump is. The phone call after this guy, he was for sending everybody back in the wall. The next guy said, oh, no, he's been lying about that the whole time. He's just trying to win right now, and he was trying to get the nomination. He's not going to do that, and I would be really upset if he did build the wall and do all of these things. They both, and another call a little while later, all of the people say, Trump has his own language, and you know, you have to really be listening to him to understand what he's saying. What's happening here, I believe, is Donald Trump is this empty vessel that the angry and disenfranchised are saying, aha, he's like me. I know what he's saying. I've never bought any of your BS, quite honestly, of anybody on MSNBC where they talk about dog whistles for the Tea Party. I thought that was bullcrap the whole time. This is a dog whistle. He is using dog whistles and speaking to people, but they're hearing things, and whether he's meaning it or not, I don't know. But people are hearing him say things, and each of them different. He is in massive, massive trouble, and more importantly, we are if he is elected.
I want to see what your reaction is to this statement by Jorge Ramos, who said, it doesn't matter who you are, a journalist, a politician, or a voter. We'll all be judged by how we responded to Donald Trump.
Oh, my gosh. Larry, I have to tell you, I am so shocked by the number of people that are GOP, conservatives, Tea Party members, people in my own industry, people in our industry, that have completely caved and flipped and sold every principle out. And every morning when we get together as a team before I do my television and radio show, we meet, and every day it grows stronger. I believe this is, you know me, I'm not one for subtlety. I believe that Donald Trump has the real ability to be everything that I was warning about when I was talking on Fox 5 years ago. I talked about a pendulum swinging back the other way, and I know you guys were accusing me of Father Coughlin. I know who Father Coughlin is. I could have, if you would have asked me, I would have told you why I wasn't Father Coughlin, but I was warning my own listeners and my viewers, beware, a Father Coughlin will come. Whether it's the left or the right, I don't know. And I spoke about the rise of the right in Europe and the rise of the Nazi Party, and then the ADL was sicked on me saying you can't say Nazis, and I'm like, well, they're coming in Europe. Nobody's paying attention at all about Aleksandr Dugin in Russia. Dugin is supporting people like this and actually helping fund people like this. And Larry, I encourage you and your listeners to go to YouTube, look for Aleksandr Dugin. He's one of the guys over in Moscow that is a big supporter of Putin. He's wildly influential. He's crazier than Hitler. In fact, says Hitler didn't go far enough. He did a YouTube on the Super Tuesday where he said Donald Trump is our guy. He is frightening. Donald Trump is frightening, and we better stick together.
Quickly.